Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we speedpaint a Warcry Warband and we take a look at this skirmish game. I wanted to make a video about this topic for some time and I feel like it is a good opportunity to talk about the full process of building and painting a Warband. I will leave the marks so you can skip the building part. Building miniatures is a huge part of this hobby and honestly it can be a little exhausting sometimes. I don't really mind it because I like this repetitive work with my hands, and for me it is a quiet time when my mind gets some well-needed rest. Or you can just put on some favorite show or podcast or catch up on the 10th edition battle raps on your favorite channel. Whatever you do when building models, it should be relaxing and you should not feel rushed or it can get really tiresome. These kits from GW are quite good, and the placing of different parts is somewhat logical. So all you need to do is locate the parts you need, snip them out and clear some of the mold lines. It is always good to try the fit of different parts so you don't make a mess when using the glue. And speaking of glue, the best product for plastic is Tamiya cement. It melts the plastic a little bit, so it can take care for most of the smaller cavities and you can use it to smooth some of the mold cavities and lines. And to place the model on a base, you can just use super glue. And then add some basing material so the model looks like it belongs into the environment. For my paint scheme, I wanted to simulate the warm environment of the Warband fighting their way through the deserts of Ghur. So I immediately introduced the warm tones with burgundy and purple for the shadows, and even though I stayed away from these warm tones in my final scheme, it is still noticeable in the deepest shadows of the finished models. These models are quite simple, and they are mostly skin and armor parts. So I can save a lot of time by giving them a coat of silver by airbrush. From here, you can get rid of the airbrush and continue with brushes, but I use this opportunity to continue with the airbrush, using this time to practice my control of the application. Was it faster than a brush? Probably not. Was it easier? Definitely not. But only with practice you can get better, so try to find these little exercises even when you're speed painting through the process. So I used some raw sienna as a base coat for all the skin parts of the larger warriors and used the same color for the little fellas. Here I use it basically as a zenithal highlight for the whole miniature. After that, I used some lighter skin tones as a highlight for the previous layer. Between this, correcting the overspray from airbrush on the metallic parts and color blocking the rest of the paint job, the overall feel of the Warband is almost done. So now it is time for the best speed painting tool there is, the oil paints. And here the job is very simple. I just used some burnt umber for the bronze parts, the same burnt umber with a little bit of magenta for the skin parts, and a blue for the chrome effect of the silver parts of the mini. Overall, this paint job took me around 5 hours, and I feel like that is not bad for the whole Warband you can just pick up and play with. And that is the real advantage these games have over larger scale games like 40k or Age of Sigmar. And Warcry gives you a very good opportunity to get into the hobby. The fact that you can just choose from various warbands the GW offers you and start playing, mostly because the core rules of this edition of the game are entirely free on the Warhammer community website, is just fantastic. But the really fun part is getting the compendium, which is also on the Warcom website, and using all the models you probably have from the Age of Sigmar or even the old Warhammer Fantasy. It will probably take you some time to find the new copyrightable names they have for the old minis, but you can still use all of them for this game mode. And just like that, you can try some games even if you have no interest in playing AOS. And you should really try it, because it is super fun and dynamic game, which won't take you more than an hour to set up and play. After the oil phase, it is always good to pick up the acrylics, even if it is just for a few brush strokes. The oils create a super smooth finish and it just looks better to break it with some text. So I just simply stipple few dots and lines on the skin and textile and highlight the metallic with pure silver. This video is a continuation of reducing the amount of grey plastic I own to make space for, let's be real, more grey plastic. But I always enjoy doing these warband / kill team kind of paint jobs, just because it gives you the dopamine rush much earlier, and it is very satisfying to just pick up the plastic from a box, and in one afternoon or a weekend we can put finished models on the table. That being said, this series is not over, and hopefully I will be able to show you the real power of the oils in speed painting in the next weeks. So subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss it. And here are the final results. I am super happy with the result and can't wait to put them on the table. If you enjoyed the video, push the like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out any new content. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.